Good morning, everyone. My name is Anne-Marie Ban. Today is Monday, August the 7th, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. Side note, I still need one more piece of equipment to solve the problems that we've got going on here, and so that ought to be done by the end of the day. Today, just letting you know, no midday update today due to that still being in progress. So let's take a look at what's going on in the ES. From a monthly perspective, we are retracing the body of the prior month. We came right down into this edge, about 44.97 is what the line had, but I think we went to 44.92. What was that low? 44.93.75, and then we began to bounce. And so as we stare this down, what we realize is traders are trying to buy old resistance as new support, and they are going to try and get themselves above 45.24. Now, the only thing we have coming in terms of releases today, outside of earnings of, less than behemoths, we have consumer sentiment at 3 o'clock. I can't even remember if I already said that. My brain is a little addled this morning. So this is what we're doing. We're caught between this 4,500 and 45.24. Buyers have already stepped in and said, listen, this is where we want to lay the line in the sand. What they have to do is breach 45.25. They've tried it once before in the overnight, but that did not go well, right? As we can see right here, they bounced up, immediately found sellers. Take a look at the 4-hour formation, down. Weekly and monthly formations up. So folks looking at this area are staring down areas that they want to buy the dip, and folks looking at this formation are thinking about where they're going to sell the bounce. And so that's really what we want to look at. If we take a look at the 4-hour chart, what we can see is we have the bounce into resistance, no resistance, there it is. If we look at our last 3 candlesticks, we can see we had this candlestick, an outside candlestick formation, and then our newest candlestick is breaking the low of this compression event. It's bounced to try and get above it, but there are a lot of sellers there. So here is the thought. I do not believe there's very pretty price action above, unless we get above this zone. Most of the price action is either going to be sideways or pushing into the lower edges. I believe that buyers are really on the hook. Let's take a look at SPY. SPY is trying to hang on, right? Here's 446.81. It began bouncing in the overnight. 443 to, what's the open there of the month? 442.92. That's the open of this candle body. If things are very bullish, if we recover above 447, we're going to try and get to 450. My suspicion is that 450 might be resistance for now. What are we actually trying to do? I suspect the same thing that we want to do here, and that is come down into old resistance being new support. So what does that mean for the 4-hour chart? It means that the bounces are going to be sell zones. This is my thought. Now, it is clearly range-based, right? We see this movement on Friday just absolutely ripping 2 days of upside pressure, just gone. And now we're seeing it come back into the heavy congestion. You could trade both sides of this. You could trade the short as it comes up into the 451, knowing that 452 is your stop zone. Or you could trade the short by waiting for it to come in to this heavy congestion, begin to collapse, and then rotate. Right now, it's a coin toss. So if it's a coin toss on the 4 hour and you're trying to trade it, probably don't want to sit at the 4 hour. You want to look at something that says, hey, do I have a formation that's worthwhile? Now here, you can see, well, they are holding 447.73, and this is likely resistance. Notice, look at the formation. We had the high, the breakdown, the failure to hold, a lower low, and then a bounce up into resistance. Traders can't get up over this edge. If they get up over 448.10, 448.15, they're going to try to get up into 448.50, but again, that's pretty sideways, okay? Really pretty sideways, and we've got a fair gap, right? So I suspect the gap traders are maybe going to put a line in the sand here somewhere to fill the gap, and then the trade back to the upside. Who knows, though? I really do not have any idea what the market's going to do. What I'm going to do is stare at it and say, hey, did they buy there? Okay, I'm going to buy. Did they sell there? Okay, I'm going to sell. That's really all I can do right now because direction is quite mixed, right? What are they doing? Trying to retrace this candlestick. Going to find buyers down here. That's exactly what they did. Old resistance, new support. Really trying to hang on to the buyers' levels there. If they can't hold 15,354, they're going to move down. And they're going to move down a fair bit, right? Now, could it just grind? Yes, this is my hope. My hope is that we sort of grind into this sideways motion. It just makes the market more stable in the grand scheme of things. What are we doing here? A little bit sideways. Somebody could say, oh, it's a double bottom. Absolutely. Sure. Some people would say it's an inverted head and shoulders. Whatever you're going to say, right? Maybe that's the head and these are the shoulders. Whatever you're going to do, just remember, where did the buyers come up definitively? They came up definitively down here at 15,354, right? Because there's literally no selling under there. If the buyers came in there and they're holding this edge, they need to break past 15,478. Otherwise, they're headed back down here. So what's my thought? Don't mess around in the middle here, right? You can see that the higher highs can't hold, and we're still getting lower lows. So let the market work itself out and look for those sideways edges. Don't jump into the trade. Let's take a look at the Qs. Doing the same sort of thing, right? Upward trend on the daily and weekly and monthly. But if you drift to the 4 hour, all of a sudden you've got some negative drift and you're moving into, what do you know? Old resistance, new support. Buyers are going to try to come in here. Here's the thing. If you look at this and you go, you know, I want to buy this. If you buy it here at 373, your stop has got to be 371.60. So if you're making highs that don't hold and collapse, and then you're bouncing into resistance that doesn't hold, it doesn't really tell me that there's a buy zone there. Now, it could be, but how about waiting for the price action to tell you up above that 375, you know it can go to 377. And if it pulls back and holds the 375, well, Bob's your uncle. You got yourself more long action. Right now, doesn't really look so hot. Okay? Not at all. All right, let's take a look at oil. right? Oil is that engine that makes a lot of things go. We had a draw on Wednesday. We also have a depletion of new rigs, which is not good because most of the stuff we do is shale, and shale has a very quick drawdown, right? The first time a rig opens up is the highest it'll be, and then it continues to decline. So, you know, we've got some problems there. SPR, not filling up. What are a lot of people thinking? Well, some folks are thinking we could fade down into the area. You guys know I think this is a double top, right? So this first price action up here remains the double top. If it breaches, awesome. If it gets above 83.09 after giving you low, high, higher low, higher high, and it does not break this 81.50, you know it's got long pressure to the upside. I think it's a short, and so we'll see what happens from that perspective. If you want to trade that, you can look at the XOP. Urban Cowboy has got a short here, and it's hurting him because he shorted it right around 140. My thought is, how about you wait for it to fade? And that's not quite happened yet. For oil, yes, because it gave us a red candle last week. And so here, I'm going to say, you know, probably needs to break below 143.85 since the buyers obviously are trying to take it off the bounce. It's got really bullish action all the way across. Dips are going to get bought. I don't anticipate anything getting down that low, but that's it. All right, that's the morning, and I'll see you all on the Benzinga Pro platform.